Okay, we're rolling. My name's Alan Wolf. That happens to be the name on the YouTube too. I don't know how that happened. I guess so. I'm not real high tech. My wife helps me sometimes with these things. It is May the 24th. Was starting to watch this YouTube on this plane crash in San Diego. Might have some more information coming up on this.
Possible causes of the crash with different scenarios. We've also got hold of the pilot's conversation with air traffic control supported with animation.
Sierra 3 miles final.
More details, all in the video ahead. In the early hours of May 22nd, 2025, a private Cessna 550 jet crashed into a residential neighborhood in San Diego.
Simulator. That'd be interesting to learn too.
The accident occurred as the jet was attempting to land at Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport. Among the victims were Dave Shapiro, co-founder of the Sound Talent Group, who represented the band Sum 41, and Daniel Williams, the well-known drummer for the metalcore band.
So who was the pilot? Maybe the older guy?
The flight had departed from Teterboro, New Jersey, late on the evening of May 21st. It made a scheduled refueling stop in Wichita, Kansas,
early in the morning.
Continuing on to San Diego. At approximately 3:45 a.m.
Okay.
Time, the aircraft was on its final.
Are they both flying? Has got autopilot on that plane?
The pilot reported being
How much sleep did the guy get?
At the time,
How many hours later?
Visibility was significantly reduced, forcing the pilot to rely on instrument flight rules. The airport's approach procedure requires that pilots must have visual contact with the runway.
Guy last night, the Scotty pilot guy, mentioned a transmission line, a high transmission line. Doesn't show that on this. But my stepson, I texted him this morning again, is in the area. He works on upgrading electrical grid system. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Okay. And yes, I was down in that area last fall. When I first heard about this, I saw a water tower on the hill. And yeah, there's a water tower right near my stepson's house. Anyway, so I'm in contact with him. He mentioned something about their or his power line. I made it kind of a joke, not kind of an offbeat. This is kind of serious. I said, didn't know you own power lines. Well, he's referring to a transmission line. I do believe there's a possibility of him hitting a high transmission line. Okay? So, we're going to find out more. I texted him this morning, asking him to send me some pictures even. Yeah, my wife's going to have to show me how to do that too. Learning process. Okay. Yeah.
Jet fuel spilled down the street, intensifying the flames and creating a hazardous environment. The crash completely destroyed at least one home, caused significant damage to roughly 10 others, and set multiple vehicles ablaze. But this might be the reason for the exact cause of the crash. But keep in mind, this is still under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board. Early indications point to poor visibility from the fog, which may have prevented the pilot from seeing the runway after descending below the decision height. As the aircraft neared the airport, it struck one or possibly two power lines about 2 miles southeast of the runway. These are located here, and interestingly, in the U.S., power line poles typically range in height from 30 to 40 feet. And for comparison, this is the size of a human. So you get the idea the plane is very low. These poles and wires might have ripped or damaged the planes and wings of the jet. It's also possible the jet fuel might have also leaked from the power lines ripping the engine. Interestingly, no communication tower was active at the time of the crash, which according to experts is normal for an airport of that size.
His altimeter might have been inaccurate. There was some sort of beacon thing for weather transmission that was not in operation at that time. So now, is that something to do with him not adjusting his altimeter for the elevation? I'm not sure. Okay. But I do know this. A commercial pilot, former commercial pilot I talked to, has his own double-engine little plane, front and rear. It's actually safer than side-by-side. 2 hours into Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, from just north of Calgary, Alberta here. And he made a comment. He didn't even want to fly with some of the co-pilots. The guy was in no mental condition to be assisting him. He was on autopilot. He had to go to the washroom. He told them, don't touch a thing. And I know in the trucking industry, they're taking medication to pass the medicals. Then they check the medication. Their legs are swelling up from medication, other complications. The guy checked his medication. The guy made the comment, why'd you check it? I could use it for mine. Okay, they're taking medication to get their medicals. Later on, they check up because of complications. But they're driving transport truck even on public highways with sky-high blood pressure. Okay, myself, I probably may not pass my eye test for commercial trucking. Comment was even made. I did get my driver's eye test done in the morning. In the afternoon, not very good. So what's happening here? How tired was the pilot? That can have effect too. Taking other things along with medications. My dad, in his situation, my dad basically touched no alcohol, but he was higher than a kite. The medication reacted. I had to take the keys away from my own father. He wasn't happy. Slept it off, came back. He couldn't remember anything about it. Okay, he was going to drive 30 miles out to a farm in Saskatchewan, from Regina, Saskatchewan. I've been around this. One concrete mixer driver, he was taking painkillers like candy, downed it with a bottle of Coke, mocked, scoffed at me about my herbal alternative stuff. And yeah, his drinking problem started with when, as a kid, their homemade wine on the colony. No, I really don't believe that a Nazarite made the water into fermented wine. And we call it fetal alcohol syndrome. It's for the aged, for the ill, medicinal. They didn't have steam distillation. When it fermented, they call it strong drink. We just call it grape juice. And then we think this is all A-OK. Okay? Things are happening. My stepson asks, how come so many plane crashes lately? Well, FAA approvals is hard to get done. There's all kinds of equipment. How come the Canadian plane took the Americans off Antarctica in the middle of the winter? I know for a fact there was equipment on that plane that was not FAA approved. That's how the company built Boric Air, built the business to operate in cold climates. And the Americans knew it. That's why they got a company all the way from Canada to take them off. How come they didn't use an American plane? Hey, FAA approvals. I know it's happening in the trucking industry. Give you a ticket for a broken mirror. Bird just hits the mirror. Broken mirror. They don't care if it's frozen over. Don't have to have the heating on it. Don't have to have other convex mirrors. Don't have to have camera systems. They should have a point system, a plus and minus. You start falling below too many points, you start getting a ticket. Okay, don't have nothing? Throw the book at you. But you got other convex mirrors, should be a plus. You got heating elements on them, that's a plus. I was driving in a hailstorm, looking through at the cameras. I couldn't see a thing. The mirrors all fogged up immediately. Hailstones coming off the hood. Indented the hood on one guy's Peterbilt truck. Okay? I made a comment to him about hailstorm. It's in the book of Revelation. Weight of a talent of lead. I'm not quite sure how heavy that is. He kind of laughed at that, even though he's quite religious. Wants to eat whatever he wants to eat. One guy says, "You eat bear meat, I wouldn't touch it." Kind of comical, actually. But no, it's sad. Families dealing with this now. Thing I will say, we will all be resurrected one day. All of us. Somebody asked me about this recent Pope. Yeah, we're all human now. But the idea with others will be all resurrected. Some will suffer the second death. Revelation chapter 20 mentions it. Only one resurrection? Nah. Different people were resurrected. Lazarus was resurrected. And no, he didn't die again. Okay, preachers make comments right off the cuff. Don't back it up with nothing. Okay? Okay. We can get into some of this, and this is part of this YouTube business with this plane. And so, yeah. We'll all stand before the King one day and answer. What's going to happen before that? Well, I happen to believe every 1,000 years there's a major event. Where are we at in history? What's our calendar at? Okay, no, the Gregorian calendar's from his approximate birth. We're not 100% sure of that even. Okay, but we do know the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. Well, do the math. Subtract that off of 1290, or I think it was the end of Daniel. No, 7-day Adventist. Don't try to justify your 1844 business. Just admit you're human too and you made a mistake. You know, these fellows made a mistake. Okay? Yeah, but we think we just have one big party until when? Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Well, yeah. Escape death and taxes. Well, some of us try to escape taxes too, don't we? Funneled through the Canadian casinos like Al Capone did. He did jail time in Alcatraz. Oh. Is that what they're after Trump about? I kind of think so. Okay. Now the vice president could pardon him. Oh, wow. That's a real quandrum, isn't it? But Canadian real estate is starting to drop. There's an article here I just saw. I don't know what's on this side now. About this guy here. Oh, this is an interesting one. This fella here about the rapture code. He's in Hamilton, Ontario. Hey, it's coming up in Pentecost. Didn't you know that? No, that happened 1997 years ago. Okay, read it. Matthew 27, 52 and 53. There was a resurrection of many. Yeah, I get into this. What? You'd rather believe two rocks came from, I have to say this correctly, nowhere. See, Norway is my ex-wife, so it kind of slips out. By the way, I think they made photoelectric mandatory 3 years ago. It'll be now. It goes off 30 minutes sooner from our smoldering fires. Lithium fires are very toxic. That 30 minutes difference compared to ionization is life and death. Calgary Fire Department and City Council knows this. They're sloughing it off. I've talked to the province about it. The guy is no longer in that position, portfolio. Yakima, Washington, a fruit growing area. I picked produce up with semis down there. Yes, I had my own semi at one time. And a couple of them, actually. Yeah, I'm making payments on the new one, buy the old truck. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I got rid of the new one. Is the Yakima, Washington made photoelectric ionization combination mandatory several years ago. Go check it. Hey, we have fires on planes. We have batteries around. Was there something else happening in the plane in the last few minutes? We don't know. There'll be an investigation on this. What are they going to determine from it? Oh, well, pilot error. Okay. What about the Washington, D.C. crash? Warning, traffic. But where's the cameras? How come they don't have cameras on the bottom side of the plane? They had turrets and gunners on the old bombers. Okay? I was in the guy trucking company. His dad's office now. His dad's not around anymore. Hey, life goes on. But we're all gonna eventually the ship will come in. That's what kind of annoys about this stuff. People say no man knows the exact hour or day. Matthew 24. Yeah, that's before he ascended. See? A lot of people, Canadians are even worse with Americans this way. Americans tend to be more religious. The word religion is often taken out of context. You can go golfing every Friday afternoon. It's repetitious actions, okay? But more Canadians lean toward atheism from our socialistic ideas, okay? What have we gotten here now? They're talking. Yeah, well, we made jokes about it years ago. CBC broadcasting, Canadian broadcasting? No, communist broadcasting. Did you get the drift? Or should I snow again? Yeah. Should do a comedy skit down in San Diego. I know a nice little buffet they had right near the Kenworth truck dealership. See, I've been down there. Okay. They had Filipino desserts on the Chinese buffet. Hey, interesting enough, I told them in Canada here, Filipinos make better desserts. My wife's Filipino. That's my stepson in San Diego. Okay? So you're getting to know a little bit about us. Here's a picture of my Filipino wife. One wife at a time. Jacob had two. That's enough trouble with one wife at a time. My ex-wife's in Saskatchewan. There's my wife's grandson. She likes to talk to her grandson, so my stepson flew me down there. I wondered, why? Talks to me about the real estate up here in Canada. He sold it now. Oh. Well, for a while, it looked like he should have maybe hung on to it. He made $220,000 on it. I said he needs every bit of that to buy a house in San Diego, okay? And then he left it in a Canadian bank account. Big mistake. Canadian dollar started dropping like a rock. Okay. Do you want to go? Maybe we should go. Here's an early analysis situation. How many hours ago? 18 hours ago. Okay, I'll be watching through some of these. I'm kind of interested because I'm actually trying to work on safety equipment. But transportation is just a nightmare. The regulations. Can I put a hybrid axle on the back of my pickup truck without the government hassling me? Well, we'll give it a try. They didn't like my little cooling blew the head gasket on a little Honda. They didn't like my little cooling on top of the hood. I was going to raise the hood and put it underneath now, but now the engine is pretty well. The final countdown.
Brother Aaron from God I Met, we got to move our guy up to step 35. We've done that. 35. So it's the yellows are the Sabbaths. So Sabbath
Yeah.
1, Sabbath
There you
2,
go.
Sabbath 3, Sabbath 4, Sabbath 5. So day 35 out of 50, will Jesus be blowing the shofar on day 50 of the Feast of Weeks at the 50-day Omer countdown? I believe we have the 2 wave loaves in Leviticus 23 verse 17. The first fruits that were the Bakar. I found some more codes in the story of
Oh, it
Lot,
sounds
the story of
possible.
the rapture.
But if you go back in his YouTube
And again, here's San
system,
Diago,
he's been doing this since I don't know when.
50-day
And
Omer
people are
countdown,
saying stuff
Sunday,
last
April.
fall. I said, and I come to realize Israel was 77 years old this year. The year
All right,
before,
let's talk about some codes.
Feast
This
of
is so
Trumpets
fun.
in the fall is a big one.
I've
That's what
I've
my
really
indication
nice and easy
is.
to understand.
Okay?
There's something called ELS steps, and this is primarily out of Genesis 18 and 19, as this is the story of Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah. Did you guys know that Lot equals 45 in Hebrew? What?
Anyway, 2 years ago,
I didn't realize
here,
that
45.
until like today.
See, there's number lines up and everything
So
else.
45 times 45 is 225.
Jacob was 77 years old when he married Leah. We're taught Jacob's trouble. I've heard that for years. Well, Israel is 77 years old.
What?
This May.
45.
Okay.
Pick a 45 and head out of here. Lot's wife, the other 45.
2 years ago, I said the solar eclipse comes first, April 8th, 2024. Formed a capital A. While Omega showed up in the river Euphrates. What?
As a hint and Lot as a hint. Now, in my last video, I'm not going to talk about this a whole lot right now. I'm just going to show you, remind you the chart. In Genesis 6 through 9, we have everything you want in the patterns and the codes that speak to Feast of Weeks. Watched the video yesterday, but it's basically coded.
He mentions first fruits.
Count 7 Sabbaths, maybe in the
You want me to go to Revelation?
Wow. Wow. Watch that video.
I got actually 2 Bibles here, much the same, so we can go back and
So
forth
we got the Noah
through the
pattern.
stuff.
Now
Okay.
the same patterns are in the story of Lot.
We'll cover more of this
Story
aircraft
of Sodom and Gomorrah.
some other time.
Verse
We'll get into some of this theology
Let's
here.
get to the first.
And I believe all these crashes are all intertwined into this. He is warned about stuff happening. There'll be different calamities. Where was the tugboats on the ship that hit the bridge? Hey, I just happened to talk to a captain that is a sea captain of a big sea can ships. They got into arguments over releasing the tugboats. What's he doing in Calgary, Alberta? No big ships in Calgary, Alberta. Oh, he had a family situation. He's actually originally from China. Okay? See? We're around the world now. We travel around the world. Okay? I mean, how long does it take us to travel from one side of the country to another? That's what these fellows were doing. Here. Revelation 14 verse 4. Okay? What's it say right here?
So he said, if I find there 45, I will not destroy it. So
There,
only
where
God
is it?
said 45.
There, you got it? First
Abraham didn't say
fruits
45.
unto God.
Abraham said
That
50.
happened. First century AD. Matthew 27. There we go. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves and after his resurrection and went into the holy city. No, they didn't roll down the street. They rolled, what, rolled up the hill? Come on. Get serious. Okay? That's why the centurion was so startled. And he could have been court-martialed for what statement he said.
Genesis 6 verse 12 was first fruits in the Noah story. Now we're seeing another pattern of first fruits in the Lot story, the Bakar. I'll show you that later. We see the Shavuot coded.
Well, he goes on and on. Gets a little much. And there'll be more scoffing and muck. I told you it's not going to happen. That's about the pipe dream and all this. And Darby, he came up with this pre-trib stuff back in 1800s or something. And people made a big mistake in 1844. Well, with everything happening there. And you think that was an effect on the Civil War, 1860s? Yeah, Mr. American. But how many of you lean toward pre-trip? I had to come out of that too. Okay? Tell that to a person that has their family martyred in some other country, pre-trib. That was prior to the tribulation of Nero, 1st century AD. Okay? Where are we now? Call it mid-trib or pre-wrath. It's the same term. It's like a truck is a lorry in England. Come on. It's terminology. We get hung up on straining gnats and swallow camels. No rapture in the Bible. It's Latin. It's in the Latin Vulgate. Okay? How many? Just Hebrew. My wife's into this. She left already. Oh, just Hebrew, just Hebrew. But does she read it? Okay? Oh, how many languages was on top of the cross? It was Greek, which is the common language. Roman, they're under Roman occupation. Okay, where do you think the name Palestinia came from? Okay, it was put on by Rome. Okay, it was actually a mocking of the Jew based on, I believe, the Philistines. Okay, old enemies. Well, they made a mockery of it. I talked to people from Gaza, or they call themselves Palestinians. I said, did you know Gaza is even mentioned in the Bible? They looked at me. I said, yeah, Amos 1, Zephaniah 2, Gaza, right there. How is that possible? What year did Gaza formed, Mr. American? And did you know the U.S. and the UN, every little dictator country in UN, what? Forced Israel to form Gaza. Yeah, Isaiah 29 happened. Hey, Mr. Ravi Zanger, call me, 403-830-4124. I put it right out there for you. No, do you want to debate anybody that might be a real challenge to you? Are you going to deny Israel as a nation? Well, what are you going to do that? Isaiah 29, Ariel, verse 10. Yes, I had to check it out. It went into an 8-year coma. On and on and on. These other people don't want to say the pre-trib. Oh, Daniel 27. Oh, it's all in the future. Something's going to happen. The third temple. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Really? Take it in context. 26 is Messiah. 27 is in context. This has already happened. They take one verse and it's all in the future. Really? Zechariah chapter 6 states what? The branch. He builds his temple in the future. Mr. Joel Richardson, sitting in your mansion, making money from movies. What kind of movies you making? I'm not sure. You want to discuss it with me? Put out some books. Yeah, their foundation class for these Hebrew groups. Right in there. No rapture. Really? It's called catching up. Where did Enoch go? To some cave somewhere? That's what some people are teaching. Okay. Okay, Zechariah chapter 6. There we go. The branch. Who's the branch? Oh, you read the other versions and it mentions something and you're like, I guess that's what it's saying. But you look in the actual Hebrew. Want to get my wife's big book? Hebrew on the one side. It just has the Old Testament. Here it is. Here it is. See, we got all kinds of stuff. She buys all kinds of... Does she read it? No. And yeah, I heard that they put Daniel in a different category from the other prophets. Here. There it is. Where is it? Can you see this? Here. Okay, here's Zephaniah. Daniel hidden in behind here. In with Esther. Not with the prophets. Why is that? It's a little bit too accurate. We don't like it, so we'll stuff it in a different section. I was going to show you Zechariah chapter 14. There's no resurrection from the Mount Olives, by the way. He comes with his saints. Okay? Shall be caught up. And he comes with his saints. Where is it? It's hard to find sometimes when I'm looking through the camera. Gotta have this highlighted more. Oh, crap. Where is it? It's there. Well, that's wrong. There it is. Comes with his saints. I wrote down white horse, okay? Some people want to teach that the white horse is the Antichrist or something. I don't know. But, okay. Zechariah chapter 14, the very last here. Canaanite. I can look it up in the Hebrew. I didn't study. My wife was studying some of the Hebrew. It says, what's it actually say in Hebrew? It actually uses the word Canaanite. So how come these so-called new modern, hey, they have to change enough wording to have it copyrighted so they can profit from it? King James? No, you can't do that. You got to be King James or not. Okay? Canaanite, that's the actual word. Hey, how far back does this go? Well, Cain killed Abel? Yeah, some people actually teach it. It all goes way back there. But do they want to give up Christmas and Easter? No, there's no sheep in the high country of Israel in December. The one and only time I went there, I had different things learned. No, it's not a nice decoration. Jeremiah 11. You'd take a nice decoration, hammer it with hammer and nail to the floor. Nice decoration. Like, give it a rest. Okay? Hebrews are told not to have any trees around the altars. Why? Where do you think the temple prostitutes were? Okay? And Rahab, yeah, she could have been forced into that situation in Jericho. And God took her out of it. Yeah. How many women get forced into some situation? We talk about it, trade trafficking. Yeah. But do we actually care about helping somebody? Oh, we run around the country, have a good time in Panama, but he doesn't have any kids. He likes the bars better in Panama. Okay. Oh, better than where? Costa Rica? Yeah, well, maybe he went to Costa Rica now. Maybe if the brothers find him there, he might be in big trouble. Is this some of the ones that go down there and get into trouble, maybe? Okay? Here, every once in a while, I hear some tourists getting killed in Costa Rica and these places. Well, why? Hey, you don't want to take care of your kids? My wife is tired of this, and my nephews, I have to look after your kids, too? We got enough problems. Yeah. Don't want to take responsibility? I told my boys, don't play around. You keep it in the pants. Girls like boys, we play with stuff we shouldn't. Hey, I had to apologize to my youngest son. I never had a fatherly talk with him. That's my oldest grandkid. You get the picture? Okay. All around it goes. Around and around. Where are we at in history? There's the menorah. She had a Hanukkah in here. No, the Hanukkah has another couple candles on it, okay? A Ravi Sager, maybe he finally took it off. I was writing comments, has it in the background. That's almost witchcraft. Did you know that? I believe. Take that occultic sign off of their Star of David business. I really questioned that years ago. I think Mark Blitz had taken it off. Mark Blitz did make a little comment one time that probably more than one rapture catching up. Yeah, well, that was maybe how many years ago I talked to his office. I just phoned it there lately again. Got thought, hey, he just got back from Israel again. He's going next fall again. Hey, send your donations. We got to keep traveling around the world. How many times? Okay. it gets a little much after a while, you know. Maybe take somebody else that can't afford to go. I wasn't supposed to go. There was one cancellation. My wife was going with her Hebrew friends. Okay. They got a little sheep farm up north of Calgary here. Gonna take some kids out there on Sunday maybe. And I'll maybe catch a ride up there because my one old Yukon, I want to make it into a pickup truck. Yeah, we can increase the resale value of the truck, but the engine was leaking coolant all the time. I had to keep topping it. I tried some sealant, but I don't know. Eventually blew the head gaskets. Okay, so I guess that was part of the problem. So now we got to look after that. I want to put a electric axle behind it, make it a hybrid. They're doing this out in Golden, BC right now with heavy-duty trucks. Now, the $750,000 electric logging truck was just too much money. Figure it out. That one guy that does reverse engineering and stuff of Tesla cars and everything, I could see his brain functioning. Like, how much money? How much do you get paid for logging truck? Like, do some math. You'd have to operate that thing for something like 7 years at 6 days a week, 24 hours a day, 1 day off. That's an absolute nightmare. The mechanics are only supposed to fix the equipment on the 1 day off. Yeah, right. That's a great in theory. It doesn't work. I've tried it. Did some of it. Got stuck into that. Start a day shift at the start of the week. By the end of the week, I was on the night shift. Yeah, you're losing a couple hours every day. The guy said, just do the best you can. One guy totaled the truck and trailer off in a canyon in BC. They blamed the driver for driving too fast. Well, why? Because you're supposed to complete your shift in 12 hours. The other guy's got his shift. He's waiting. Oh, wow. Got in an argument with a log truck driver over this. Next thing, I got a ball-peen hammer across the head. And I'm the one that got fired because I think the boss was scared of that guy. Oh. And then I'm on night shift. Come in how late at night? And I'm supposed to be up the next morning for a safety meeting. Your day off and you're supposed to be here for a safety meeting and you only got 4 hours of sleep. Oh, yeah. Great in theory, ain't it? Okay, it doesn't work. Okay? The companies go bankrupt over this stuff. Trying to have 2 drivers in a truck, keep the thing running 24/7, 24/6. No. It doesn't work. I told my wife, at least when the truck is sleeping, if I had robot, I wouldn't have somebody snoring in the bunk with us. You know, all my wife had to do? Tell me when the light turns green, and I can go again. I'm resting my eyeballs for a few minutes. A construction site, 2-lane highway coming up from U.S. construction site. I closed my eyeballs. No, that was... See, I should have set the timer. Anything more than 5 minutes, I feel groggy. I should have set the timer. Next thing you know, they knocked on my door. Are you okay? I fell asleep. Traffic went around me. No wonder the cops didn't come check me out.
Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. And in Luke 17:3.
In Calgary, Alberta, they don't like me being connected somewhat with the Alberta sheriffs. I have to get their badge number right away. Otherwise, get nervous. They roll up the window and drive away. The last guy I talked to, he wondered why I wanted that. And I told him, and he didn't get nervous. Young guy from the UK. Said something about conspiracy theories about building number 7 in New York and stuff. And I looked at him, I said, you probably remember it was on BBC News in the UK about building number 7 going down, and they later edited it out. Yeah, some British people told me that. He looked at me, didn't say a word. He remembered it as a kid. Yeah. What are we being told? We're being told about the volcanoes going off in Mexico. The truck driver from there didn't even know his flight was canceled. We're not being told. We're being conned. And then we got stuff like this.
God specifically tells us to remember Lot's wife. Remember, Lot is a guy of 45. What happened in Genesis 19, verse 26, she turned into a pillar of salt because of what happened in this verse right here.
He's got some good stuff. Yeah.
Genesis 19,
but no,
specifically,
he really messes it up because he's stuck with, I call it American pre-trib. Hey, you're dominant worldwide, and the pre-trib thing is quite dominant. It all sounds nice. We're going to all float off. The whole pew stinks to high heaven. It says, the iniquity of my people is a stench. Covetousness causes true love to wax cold. Matthew 24:12. Read it. It's not some dietary thing in the future. Like, people have different viewpoints about dietary issues. Okay? There's scavengers of the air, land, and sea. I can get into it. Okay? We're doing lots of stuff even with the beef that is not that great. We're feeding animal parts liquefied with industrial grade canola oil back to the livestock. Why do you think mad cow happened? Why do you think bird flu is happening in Asia so often? They got the chickens over top of the pigs. The manure goes into the duck pond. They're all feeding on the same crap, watering everything from the same crap, and all of a sudden you got a problem. Like, a lot of this stuff is our own agricultural policies and habits we form. Like what? Knock it off. Guy's got a nice clean chicken barn, and the next thing he's got bird flu. Why? Well, what's down the river? Which way's the wind blowing? Hey, come on. You live near some of these big hog barns? They incinerated the pigs over Wuhan, China, same as in Kansas City, 1918. Did you get the drift? Where's this? Canuck. Canada. Why do we say A? Okay. Need the snow again? Hey, it's only May. It's only down to 4 degrees Celsius. That's almost freezing. We got a little problem coming up. The computer's gonna crash here. I'm gonna have to get the charger over here. I think it was over here. Yeah, I was charging it up last night a little bit, but it doesn't. The battery's not that great. Okay. Yeah, real professionally done here. I don't have a nice blank wall behind us. I really wonder what that's all about. Blank wall, nothing there. Hide everything. Don't show anybody around. Like, what are you hiding here? One guy portraying that he's got a congregation or something, and then I find out, oh, send your donations to us, and the address is in the U.S. What's that all about? Well, the U.S. is 10 times the population here. Maybe you're more apt to get a donation from some of the Americans. Always teaching like the faith of King David. Well, yeah, where'd he get the money for the rental houses and an airline? They're both from Guyana, I believe. I met the daughters too. A little darker complexion. Hey, how come some of the Greenlanders have a darker complexion with kinky hair? Yeah, they have Afro-American fathers and grandfathers from the war years. Duh!
He rains fire from heaven and destroys Sodom and Gomorrah. That is what Chevrolet.
Yeah, it's charging up now.
Come on.
Hey, watch them.
Guys, come on.
I watch them some yet. It gets kind of annoyed after a while.
This is a deep thing.
Because he does lots of these. He used to be a musician teaching music. Well, the only thing I say about some of the musicians is stick to your knitting. Just because they got you on stage for music doesn't mean you're the theologian. And we can get into that. I'm too helter-skelter to be a real point-by-point teacher. They get really rattled if somebody asks them a question. It gives me direction which rabbit trail I'm going to go down. Yeah, that's how I am. They say, I don't want to go down that rabbit trail, so he goes back on his notes. I go down the rabbit trail, find out where the rabbit hole is, and I dig. You're not going to find the gold laying on top. It's at the bottom. The nuggets and the pearls are in the bottom of the ocean. They dig.
You and I are the first fruits waiting to be presented to God as a living sacrifice.
Yeah, and I pray and fast about this. And next thing you know, I'm talking to a sea captain in Calgary, Alberta. There's no ocean here. The little river's a trickle. Okay.
So not only is the Lord coded in a 49-letter scheme,
but we can rescue the kids off the reservoir in minutes, not 40 or 50 minutes, what the Calgary Fire Department said. And they said, look at the drones. Yeah, look at the drones. I can look on the drones all day long. Why don't you get one? Try it out. I mean, you spend how much money on other stuff.
Genesis 18, how it's Abraham doesn't use that phrase. All right, we're gonna.
See, this is a big book by Hebrew. My wife got all this Hebrew stuff. Oh, you gonna want to get into this? Oh, this is a study and a half in itself. Yeah. Rock Island Books, he was into this too. Yeah, his eyesight's going too, I guess. He's in his 80s or something. But he's still stuck in pre-trib. They're trying to fit all their theology, but they don't want to take that one piece out. You can't keep building. It says building on another man's foundation. You got 2 feet? Try to fit both feet into one shoe. It does not fit. Every 1,000 years. They're debating over, is it pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib? Most of them go from one extreme to the next. The road is narrow. We go from one ditch to the next. What? I've seen it. Their car's so in panic they're going to go into the one ditch, so they crank it the other way, and now they're spinning around, and they go in the ditch backwards. Okay, stay there. Spinning around on ball bearings because of the hailstorm. Everybody else is slowing down, but you think you can still do 110, over 60 mile an hour on ice. Yeah. Like, everybody else is slowing down. Why don't you slow down? He's doing okay until he starts spinning around in front of me. Oh, wow. Wonder why some of the truck drivers go back to smoking. Like, I don't smoke, and I'm stressed out. Like, I didn't know I was going to take out the guy or not. Yeah. Being that close. And accidents? Oh, blame the driver. Oh. Hey, any Canadians watching? That bus accident, I just went through it again with the guy. No, the Saskatchewan government should have taken the trees out on the farmyard on the corner. 2 bad accidents and they did nothing. Why? Who owns the farm? Maybe there's politics involved. Okay? But all they had to do is make a right-hand 90-degree corner, go down the road, and make a left 90 degrees, and then onto the highway. If the truck didn't slow down, he's in the ditch. And no, I don't believe that young immigrant ran the stop sign that fast. He had to make a corner, okay, with a loaded flat deck. If he made it too fast, those straps could snap and the load's gone. So he had to slow down enough to make the corner onto the highway. How come the bus hit the back end, not the front? And let's be honest, we make jokes about it. Spin tires on pavement. How many of us actually, especially truck drivers, are bad at this? Don't come to 100% stop. Why? If you're on ice, you might not get going again even. Okay? Little uphill? Good luck. Okay? It is on and on. So you take a look, traffic's coming, I got time to go, and look the other way, nobody coming, except the trees are there. Do you get the picture? And how hot was the temperature on the brakes on that bus? On a 2-lane highway, off and on, trying to get past the other slower traffic, farm tractors, whatever. This is a rural farming area. The bus was running late. He's trying to make up for time. It's an older bus. The driver's dead. How many hockey players killed? Oh, that made big news because that's our idol in Canada here. Okay, yeah. It was just 2 trucks. You think we'd hear much about it? Okay, no. It was a police vehicle. Oh, wow. We have to have police from across the country at his memorial. You ever been at a Jehovah's Witness memorial? Yeah, it's actually quite sad, you know. They pass the juice around and you don't take it. I took a big drink and the guy just about freaked out. Because I believe the 144,000, that's first century AD. You want to discuss it? No, they didn't want to discuss it. Hey, teach the kids that Hanukkah is the conception. Mary met Elizabeth. 9 months later, you have the Feast of Tabernacles, okay? Don't have the Greek birthday anymore. Get out of the tradition, okay? The teenagers start discussing this with the kids, their parents, and like they're not supposed to have birthdays like their friends do. Hey, don't tell anybody, but it's my birthday too. It's actually quite humorous. Okay, then so what? Jehovah's Witnesses don't know what to say about this. Their kids are going to start celebrating Hanukkah. Why? Because they want to have celebrate their month of conception. Hey, the 92-year-old passes his driver's license. He got the drift. He was involved with protesting about abortions. He knew us in the womb. We're not just some fetus's Greek for little one, okay? Really. We want to justify our lifestyle. Just do away with it. It's not my problem. Really? This is coming back to bite us. Big time. My wife gets into this. The other day I said something about we might probably going to have to move here, but things can happen in the next week or so. Looking at renting a unit, don't have to have carbon monoxide. It's what is it? Hilti, industrial German built unit. Big blade saw. I actually found some extra blade saws the other day when I cleaned out the one vehicle. It's going to the wrecking yard. Hey, maybe you should just put me in there and dig a bigger hole. A friend of mine lost his airplane and everything, died in his car. Yeah, you get hooked on gambling big time. Okay, it took him right down. Okay, how do you get hooked? They let him win. Another guy got hooked. Had to go back driving bus. He's in his 70s too, a senior. Hey, they got lots of troubles with these new bus drivers. Oh, talked to the guy last night, caught home. Such a nice, smooth ride. He didn't just jam the brakes on and then hit the throttle, and then when the turbo finally boosts up air, then you back right off, and then you hit the... It was such a nice, smooth ride. I talked to him a little bit, and he said they got such trouble with a lot of the new drivers. So they got him to do this extra shift here. I told them about the one intersection hill. It should have been taken down more when they built it. But there's no steps up to the houses. Take the road down a little bit. No, you come over the crest of the hill, and they still don't have a sign. Should be at the top of the hill for 30 zone, a school zone ahead. If the kids are crossing at the bottom of the hill, good luck getting the bus stop coming down an icy hill. I want to put sand in the front tires. I want to put an airbag at the front. Why not? Why don't we have airbags in front of the vehicles as well? Fire trucks. Guess where I found out the most dangerous place for a fireman is? No, not at the fire. Going to the fire. They're in a hurry. Got the lights and siren on, but people's got their earbuds on, everything else, even skateboards. I just got hit on the sidewalk with 3 skateboards. I say something, and next thing you know, I got the finger flipped at me. Like, what? I just walk down the street. And the police say nothing. And do nothing. Oh, years ago, he's a kid. What are you going to do? You pick him up, you take him to the house, and you have a little talk with the parents before the kid gets killed. Or you hurt somebody else. Hits me, I'm a senior. Might lay me up for months. The kids make a better recovery. Surgery, they make a better recovery. A lot of adults, the older we get, the one guy, he was only in his 40s, seemed to make a recovery from the surgery. It kept him alive. Israel starts operating right in the ambulance. I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah, keep him alive. Okay? He seemed to make a recovery 2 years later. We buried him with cancer. Why do you think I don't want to have I put off my surgeries. I had acupuncture done, never had the knee surgery. Okay, why? There's complications from all this stuff. We're just kidding ourselves. Okay? There's a lettering. We got really uptight about this. We can say G-O-D all we want in Canada. That's okay. Don't use the F word. Okay? Yeah. Little British humor here. You know what the Brits named KFC? You got it. FCK. The Brits laughed about it, and their sales went up. That's a good marketing play. A lot of its stuff is just done for sake of prestige and marketing. We bake our own bread, Subways. Really. They didn't say they made it. See, people can know enough English to function, but they don't really know what they're saying. My wife thought there was 2,000 people missing in Calgary. I says, Calgary's getting more problems, okay? But I said, that don't sound right at all. I started looking. No, 2,000 people over the lifespan of the city, okay? And 99.9% of them are found. Well, they found the one girl right near the house where my wife works, down along the creek in the park. I said to the Nigerian lady, not good. Well, she functions pretty good. Her English is actually quite good. But she didn't know what that meant, not good. She says, well, why is that not good? They found her. Well, not good meaning she wasn't alive anymore. Not good, okay? That's how we talk here in Canada. Okay? Different places say different words a different way. Don't get so uptight about it, okay? Do a whole big debate over the word Trinity. Do a whole big debate over the word rapture. What is your real issue? Mr. Richardson, with your Jewish background? Did you figure there's a resurrection from the Mount of Olives? You figure you can buy your way into his kingdom? He comes with the saints. Ambassadors are already chosen. I said that to a Lutheran pastor. He got the drift right away. Why? Because but some of them in his own congregation. How many? I don't know. The one elder said, and he does a few things on the stage once in a while himself. Okay? But, no, Elijah didn't go to heaven. Really? Like, where are you coming from? Where did he go? To a cave with Enoch? I had to be corrected a little bit. The chariot separated the two of them. Okay? So I'm praying about this. Okay? What did I find? Here. The chariots of God. How many chariots was there? Well, what's it say? 20,000. Hey, just because it only mentions the one separating them, Elijah and Eliza, even thousands of them, thousands of angels with him. And who is with him? The Lord. Gee, I thought he only came once as a little babe in the manger. See, everybody loves a little baby. Okay? Hey, we're not supposed to be prejudiced, but they never talk about economic discrimination. You ever notice that? Super rich and super poor. I call them salt and pepper. They can go to these places. Okay? Maybe years ago they wouldn't even allow them in. They changed that a little bit. Same with the Mormons. Changed that a little bit. At one time these ethnic groups couldn't be a priest in their high church. Check it out. You think this stuff is so great? How come they changed their rulings? He's the same yesterday and forever. Okay? There's only one race on this planet, by the way. It's called the human race. My wife doesn't like her Jamaican brother-in-law. I says, you're not the one that married him. What are you worried about? She says she didn't understand him when she thought, I have no problem understanding him. Well, I have difficulty with my wife. What else is new? Soup and soap. I told her, put an E on that. Soupe, so I know what you're saying. Because I can't understand when she says, pick up some soap. I pick up soap. And she wanted soup. Oh, well, sorry. Sign language. One guy from Yorkshire, he didn't know I was working custom harvesting in the U.S. Huh. But we understood the sign language. He knew. And the office boys, scratch your nose with your first finger once in a while. And then when you're really ticked off at them, scratch it with your middle index. Now they don't know, is your nose itchy or is he really telling me to F off? Yeah. Go take your truck. Is it my truck? I can take it home and sell it? What's he saying? Oh, you only spent 2 weeks on the road, and now we want you to take the truck down and spend time getting the truck clean and take it after that to the shop. No, they can take their truck, and they can take it. Yeah. They just, every little favor. But when you ask them to do something, oh, no. Really. What do you think the protests in Ottawa with the trucking industry was really about? I told you. The MLA didn't know nothing about it. Okay, I told them 8 months to get paid. Interprovincial federal labor law is an absolute joke in Canada. Absolute joke. The guy from the UK was fed up with it. Yeah, the truck was seized in Ottawa, likely. He had his plane ticket in his pocket. He was heading back to the UK. He was fed up with it. Okay. 100% financed by Volvo. Huh. They don't do that for Canadians. Huh. Canada, it's like a life sentence. Americans, the brother-in-law moves up from Florida, lost everything, houses in their crash and stuff, moves up to New York, gets involved with gelato ice cream. They're Italian or something, and next you know this and that, and got a house and everything. What? Now they're moving to Carolina, and he says, well, that's a different state. Not in Canada. It's like a life sentence. They won't give me diddly squat. My wife doesn't even ask for anything. She gets it in the mail. A $10,000 line of credit. Huh? What? Oh, she's a foreigner. We don't want to discriminate. Poor little immigrant girl. Okay. Oh. Where do you think the money for the house in the Philippines came from? In her name. Doesn't want to sell it. Her mother's in New York. And we're so crash-strapped. I got to rent this one unit for $58 to we can cut the windows bigger and make a doorway, stairwell, and make a legal suite. I think I want to get into this. And I mentioned to her she's working for looking after the kids sometimes, and they're getting bigger, but he's involved with building. Well, maybe he knows of a house we can do this for. We do the work and everything just for a break on the rent. Okay? I'd like to get into the business. I'll rent the thing by a week, because I can't probably afford to buy the thing. I'll rent it by the week. They're actually financing me. That's what they're doing. I turn around and I sub-rent it or do work. How many stairwells and windows can I cut in half a day? Well, gee. If you do enough work, I pay for the rent. Just do the work. I can maybe just rent equipment and get into a little business. You know what he promises in his written word? He will raise us from the dunghill. Do you hear me? We think life is just a real pile of and all this crap we put up with. Why? And who's milking us? They feed us milk, not solid food. Ezekiel 34. They feed upon the sheep. They did not feed the sheep. Peter was told 3 times, feed the sheep. But what his sheep? They think that the people are their sheep, and they get to feed upon their sheep and travel around the world in nice lifestyles. Mr. Richardson, do you get the drift here? I have to put up with this myself. My wife's so caught up with this, she went from one boat into the next boat. Won't talk to her Sunday friends hardly at all. Yeah. Seventh-day Adventist? Mr. Seventh-day Saturday? The guy knew right well what I meant. His nice fancy truck, all decked out. The Filipinos like to do that. Yeah, look at the trucks and the old Jeepies in the Philippines. They got them all spangled up. There we go. Here we go. There you go. Got my number? There it is. I'll put it right out front. Calgary, Alberta. Okay. Canada. Okay, we're on Mountain Standard Time, so please try to call within a decent hour. I make jokes about office hours from 9 a.m. to about 9 p.m. Hey, if you got a fire, okay, different situation. My wife's talking to the Philippines. Their time, well, they got nothing to do? What? But they want us to phone after midnight. Really? I can tell the one lady, I call her rooster lady. I can hear the rooster crowing in the background, and I know, oh, you're talking to her in the Philippines now. Okay? Yeah, after midnight. But last night it got late when I was doing the one. Finally got my phone to work, where I had to empty out the trash can too. Okay, we're just over an hour here now. There's the end. Did you get it? Okay. These other ones you have to dig and scrounge, and when you finally do, then you only talk to maybe a office person in Tacoma, Washington. Never have talked to Mark Blitz. I talked to the one fellow way down, Baptist fellow. He's into what is it? Dispensation stuff. Timelines. No. We're all in the same boat. Okay? Dispensation, how I understand it, is like the time frame we're born into. My grandmothers taught me more than some of these. One grandmother from the Ukraine. My grandfather and uncle was taken captive by Stalin there. I know the history very well. And the drones played a big part in the war. Farmers already had them. I told people it would be a serious situation. Didn't have nothing but a pitchfork before to fight back when Nazi Germany came. The guns were already gone. Stalin took all the guns. There was no guns left. Okay? What are you kidding yourself? Okay? Americans are more gun happy than we are. But don't tell a farmer he can't have his gun. Huh. You got critters around. Hey, we don't have to go slaughtering all of them, but are they coming after us? You got another thought coming. Okay? It's called an equalizer. Yeah, I found out where most of the school shootings are. They decided not to let the little teacher have a little pistol in her handbag. Hey, you're not going to go shooting in a school. You know the teacher might have a little gun to shoot back at you. It's called an equalizer. Well, what did they do? Oh. Does the mainstream media, these liberal people? Yeah. Everybody's going to behave and be nice. Really? Tell that to a teenage kid when some guy wants to go into his sister's washroom or shower room. Yeah, really. Give it a rest. Kids are kids. I've been there. Tell the kid, don't push that pee up his nose. What's he going to do? I wonder why. Give them a warning once. Tell them what they're going to get. And strike 3, you're out. No, there's no negotiation. The kid sucked up to his mama when he came home. Didn't like what Grandma had cooked him. She has to put the chocolate on top of the avocado. He doesn't like avocado. So she puts chocolate on top of it so he'll eat it. Wow. Spoil the kids rotten. You see it in the stores and everything. Kid fusses until he gets what he wants. Yes, the Filipino kid. Huh. Still sucking on his mother's breast. He's how old? Like, no, knock it off. They're spoiling him rotten. I can see it. She should have another kid, and then she'd be busy with the other kid, not him. Okay? Mother's got too much time on her hands. It's just a baby, her little baby boy. Mothers are good at doing this. Guy next door is 40 years old, still living with mom and dad. Why? There's issues there too. Police things I should have finished the police report. I said, oh, how come the tires were slashed on the landlord's SUV a week after? And you guys did nothing. Okay? Yeah, argument. A week or 2 later, the tires are all slashed. Nobody else's vehicle got vandalized in the whole block. No? Oh, no. Just kind of circumstantial, isn't it? Just happened to happen. Okay? Here's a topic and a half. Do you actually believe you're going to be tormented forever and ever? The one guy left Romanism. He's now JW because of that issue. The other guy left there when he learned about the Sabbath. Well, good. But then the Adventists packed themselves in the back about one particular day, and they don't want to really learn the Passover is a high annual Sabbath, Mr. Adventist. Are you really, and you want to keep pagan Easter yet? Friday, Easter Friday, with most people try to justify Sunday. Romanism puts right in their cat. Who changed the times and laws? Yeah. When did things get changed? Huh? Who came up with our present calendar? Okay? Daniel chapter 7. Change the times and laws. But they want to have pagan Christmas. Christmas. What's the Mass all about? One guy went back to the Eucharist because of his Orthodox background, okay? It says go forward. Hey, King James guy, Truth is Christ, I think. YouTube. Got some good teaching. He got one about 1611. Interesting teaching. But he's stuck in American pre-trib. They had a group with, one guy was from Australia. He picked up something a little bit different, made a few comments about the monarch and a few different viewpoints than the Americans have. Okay? No. The gospel isn't all about Mr. American. Huh? Hello? And it's not about a separate group, the Jew and the Gentile, either. That's called no-eyed law. There's one gospel. Don't believe the book? That's another entire different issue. You'd rather believe that two rocks came from Norway. That's my ex-wife. Nowhere. Okay? Bang together and have everything. Hey. I told the guy off and walked out. Next time he wants to talk to me. Why? He was just playing head games with the other guy. Absolutely head games. I could see it. The guy was going nowhere. He was just throw some real curveball at him and the guy didn't know what to say. I told him off. Now, next time he saw me, he says, well, we need to discuss things. I says, yeah, okay. A friend of mine, another friend, told me off. He says, well, I said, well, you're the one that called me. I didn't call you. Texts me at 5:30 in the morning. Why? Because got teed off. Gets up early to go to work and it's raining. They're not doing much work. I saw one YouTube maybe suggesting the house prices in Toronto are coming down. Hey, that's what I told my stepson. This is coming. He sold his townhouse.
Shin. Bet.
And 1 hour, 18 minutes. Okay. I guess time to shut this off. I try to keep it around an hour and a half. That is a topic and a half. Do you really believe? No. Revelation 20 talks about the second death. That's why we need resurrected. We're dead. We're dead. We need resurrected. Then there's going to be a judgment for everybody after the 1,000-year reign. Read it. Okay. Again, my phone number. Put it right out to you. When I first started that, I thought I'd be swamped with phone calls. No, I'm not. Okay? I don't know what most people just off doing their own happy little life. We make jokes about it. Happy wife, happy life. Who's really running the show? Preachers and everything. Who's turning their neck? Hey, it's all around us. Eve should have been corrected. I said something about that. I got checked out the door. Why? Well, yeah, Eve took it first. Adam should have corrected her. Well, no, they don't like that. Because they want to run the show. Who runs a little sheep farm? It was his dad's little farm. Who runs the place? She does. I seen it big time. Okay, I shut the wrong one off. Okay. Anyway, there's my life. Okay, happy little about it. Keep the wife happy. Get arguments. She took off for once for 6 months. A Nigerian guy saw me with the Nigerian lady doing a little Uber with me the other day. Said something about that. Well, yeah, how gossip starts. Well, I could say I didn't even bother shaving. Didn't have a shower, shave, or nothing. She gave me a ride. Okay? Give it a rest. Okay? That's how gossip starts. Okay? My wife goes, she was a little bit friendlier the other day. I wonder why. Want to treat me her 5-year-old grandkid with no respect. Ask him. I'm told, do this, do that, do this. What? Keep her minor. Don't treat me like her 5-year-old grandkid. Did she get the drift? Respect for your husband? Oh, really? Yeah. Why? Because the priesthood has been replaced by the guru behind that pulpit. Yeah. Who you really listening to? Who do you have more respect? Whose opinion is more important in your household? And the kids will see right through it and have no respect for either parent. Okay? I've been around. I got 8 grandkids. Do people want to learn? Some of the kids want to learn. It's the parents. They already got a diploma. Wow. Guy's got 3 years diploma in business. Might be sent out of the country. His parents are still in Bangladesh or something. Professional people. So they got their son here and got him schooled. Didn't know what an escrow account was. The Filipino guy, he's not in real estate anymore. Didn't know much about commercial real estate. Hey, life is school. Learn. Okay? I'm not dead yet. Yet. Half my friends are gone. Or doped up. They don't even know the time of day. Okay? But I'm told, go away, old man. You're wasting our time. Thank you. Walk down the sidewalk. Almost get run over by skateboards. Have a good day.